Let's play some more Hanayama Bingo! That's right, it's the series where I use this bingo randomizer to help me decide which Hanayama puzzle I'm gonna teach you how to solve. So let's jump right in! And today's puzzle is I-22. Now, which one is I-22, you ask? Well, I have no idea, so let's go to the Hanayama wall. All right, so we've got I-22. That's I-22. The U and U puzzle. It's a level 4. All right, move over other stuff. We are solving the U and U puzzle. All right, so here is the U and U puzzle outside of the box. It seems pretty simple. A U-shaped piece of metal with nuts on either side, and same with this one. However, these don't come off the end, all right? So they are stuck on there, and you have to figure out how to remove these. And the answer is a little tricky. What you don't realize when looking at this puzzle initially is that not all of these nuts are exactly the same. You see this one right here, if you'll see the U and U logo on this one, and then on this one is the Hanayama copyright logo. So with the U and U stamp on this one, you want to have that as your main piece, and then this one is your secondary piece, all right? On the U and U labeled one, the nut that is on the left is a perfectly normal, regular old nut. It still won't come off, but it's normally shaped and everything like that. On all the other 3 nuts, you'll notice, and it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but you'll notice that one side, and right now it's this side right here, is slightly, ever so slightly smaller on that side. You can see it's almost flat on that edge when you look at the circle that goes around the nut. It's almost flat right there. And it's the same on these two. You'll see there's the flat side on that one, and there's the flat side on that one. Those flat sides are incredibly important when solving the U and U puzzle. So, let's begin. First, you're gonna take the U and U stamped piece. That is gonna be your main piece. What you're going to do is you're going to bring this left side nut, the one that is completely normal, you're gonna spin it all the way down. And the one on the right, you're going to spin all the way up to the very tip top. All right. Now you are actually going to, instead of going to the very tip top, let's move that flat piece right into the center. So it's pointing inward. All right. And now the U-shaped things also seem very similar, except on the Hanayama stamped one, right below the copyright logo, you'll see that it's just ever so slightly indented. And you need to make sure that you keep that in mind as we begin. All right? So now you're going to move this nut all the way down as well. And as you do that, you want to make sure that this notch is pressed up against the U and U shaped puzzle, and then you're just going to move it up. And it's a little tricky because it's a very small indentation, but you're able to move it to there. Okay, so now you've got, on the U and U, you've got the left all the way down, left nut all the way down, right nut all the way up. On the Hanayama, you have the left one down, right one up. And you have the Hanayama U sideways, like this, okay? And now you're going to move it to there. Now this can be a tad tricky. Make sure that your flat edges are pointed inward almost exclusively throughout this puzzle. You want the flat part of the irregular nuts to be pointed inward on the U. And now you're going to try and move it up. To do so, you're going to have to move this piece up and this nut down, and that will allow the center nut to go upwards. And then once you get to a point where you're trapped, right now I'm trapped at the bottom here, so I want to make sure that the flat edge is pointed inward on the U. Alright, so this is the flat edge, and that will allow the U to slip past it. And the flat edge is on the top as well. Alright, so now I've slipped past this nut with the U. Alright, I'm going to keep going down with this nut, which again allows this middle U to go upward, the Hanayama U. I'm going to go up with this one. Alright, and now, there, as I've moved this up, I was able to get around, and now I want to bring this guy back down, this left nut on the U and U to go back down. And now this nut needs to go up. And now we just need to match up the flat edges. And then we want our flat edge there. So once the flat, you want this flat edge to be pointed at this nut, and you want these two flat edges to be facing each other, which allows me to pull the puzzle apart. And that is how you solve the U and U puzzle from Hanayama. But everyone knows the most difficult part of a Hanayama puzzle is rarely taking it apart. It's usually putting it back together. So, to put it back together, you want to just do what you just did, but make sure that your nuts are facing the right way. Alright, so we've got the flat edge of this nut facing the flat edge of this nut as we kind of squeak them past each other. Alright, and then we want to spin this nut down a bit. It can get a little tricky at times because the nuts might not want to spin because they're blocked by other parts of the puzzle. Alright, so now to get through, we want to make sure that the flat part of this puzzle is pointed inwards so that our U can pass, and the flat part of that nut, this guy, so we want to move that upwards. Which will allow it to go down. Alright. Now we want to move this guy down so that the U can go down. Alright. Now we are almost there. Be sure that you have the notch in the U to bring it down. There we go. Alright, and that is the U and U puzzle. Alright, it is back in the box. It's going back up on the wall, and you're going down to the comments section to let us know which Hanayama puzzle you hope the bingo randomizer chooses for you next. Is there one that you're stuck on? Is there one that you just have questions about? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're at it, give us a like and maybe a subscribe. And if you ever have trouble solving a Hanayama puzzle, head on over to areyouGame.com because we've got the solution to all the Hanayama puzzles there on our site. You can also buy all of them, so, you know, fill her up. I've been Joe, and I've just got one last question for you. Are you game?